Hey everybody, this is Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Just coming to you guys today because I've been seeing something trending and I totally want to speak on it. It's about Selma Hayek and Jessica Williams' debate they had versus the power of creating your own story and having your own business. And the reason I kind of wanted to do this one today is because it seems like no matter how far up in celebrity someone's getting, they seem to have these old narratives. Sorry, my camera's trying to find itself. They seem to have these old narratives of victimhood and the struggle and all that stuff. So let some of you come in here. Let some of you come in. But yeah, so Jessica Williams and Selma Hayek are at this festival. It's a film festival, and it's like the best of the best. It's like cream of the crop, and it's a women's discussion. And so Selma Hayek, who is Hispanic, but key point here, she's married to a French billionaire. That's only of recent. Her younger years were a little bit of tougher. But Jessica Williams has this moment where she's like, well, it's really hard being a black woman, being black and being a woman and transgender and being able to be seen in Hollywood. And essentially, Selma Hayek says something I would say, or some of my family members say, like, well, hey, don't be a victim. Tell your story. Kind of like in a roundabout way, you have the platform, create your thing. Now, she didn't get enough time, is what Selma Hayek's saying. She didn't get enough time to explain herself, to express her concern. Now, I'm going to do a few points. I'm going to do about 7 points here. And then I'm going to totally jump all over you guys and let you guys have questions. But the key problem is when showing there was a Harvard study where they showed about 20,000 people all these facts, right? They just loaded them down. Like, look at these facts. Look at these facts. 80% still kept their mind in the same way. Like the person would show them a fact, a clear like newspaper article or research of this or that, and 80% would leave the room and they'd ask them again, do you believe this thing you first thought is true? And the people would be like, yes. So what does that tell you? That tells you 80% of the people you deal with, even if you put facts in their face, they won't believe you. You won't change their mind. You won't convince them. Now, here's my thing about people of color. Now, a lot of times we'll say people of color, we'll say Indians, we'll say Mexicans, we'll say Asians, but they don't have the same story you have. I can tell you right now, countless times over the phone and in Facebook Messenger, I have Asian friends, Latino friends, and Indian friends, and Korean friends say, someone said something very racist in front of me today, and I didn't know what to do. And I go, well, you stand up, you say something, you say that's not okay in front of me. But they're not the only one. I've got like 20, 30 messages of people having these things happen, and they're a person of color, and that white person felt completely okay saying those things in front of that Asian person, in front of that Indian person, in front of that half black person, in front of that Mexican person. Those are things that are just unacceptable, right? They had another study where it was like, this is my other point. White people will insist their life is harder. They did about 4 studies where they went and said, hey, it's just all white people in the room. It's a white examiner. Everybody, like, can we agree that America's harder for black people, Latino people, and handicapped people? I think it was like a very simple statement. And none of them would agree. It's like they dug in deeper. They kept saying, no, my life's really hard. I'm a poor white person, blah, 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 blah. And like trying to say they had a struggle when really financially they didn't, life-wise they didn't. And the funny thing about it is when they would do individual, like this person had this type of bad life, the person got even deeper into entrenchment. Because if you really talk to some of your friends where you're drinking, it's a gig. It's just like a gig. If you're a white dude in America, you hit the lottery, dude. And a lot of things that are affecting black males, Latino males are not affecting you. They're just not. And for you to sit there and try to convince somebody, my life's been so hard, I had to work and I had to do these things, it's really lying to yourself and lying to others. It's almost disingenuous. And so that comes back to my point again of like, stop trying to convince people your life is hard or you haven't had challenges. I've even had jobs where I went and later found out I qualified for the gig. It's just somebody was racist at that job. And I laugh because I'm like, that's the dumbest thing ever. It's the dumbest thing ever. I've had bosses where I've been at apartment complexes where they would say, I'm not hiring no ghetto girls. I'm not hiring no overweight girls. I'm not hiring any more brown people. And I'm sitting there in the office like, did you just say that? Did you just say that, Sean? Like, no, I could have reported him. I could have filed reports. I could have done all those things. But those are just examples of, he felt that comfortable that he could say that with me in the room. He's like, well, you're different, Erica. You're educated. You're different. And I wanted to go, but you just said something racist and terrible. So 3, there was a thing Glenn Beck and a couple of people said that cracks me up, is about Donald Trump versus Barack Obama. Now, if you look at Barack Obama, he is a product of the 80s, and that'll be my next point. But he heavily educated, wife is heavily educated, children, perfect example, great citizen, and all of a sudden people are like, oh no, he's terrible, he's terrible. No way, he's terrible. I said, now if Donald Trump, of course, had 2 divorces and 5 kids. Now, if that same applied to Barack Obama, he would not have been president. There's so many stereotypes, and the reason I think a lot of white people and non-black people got so mad is because they're like, there's no stereotype there was just no stereotype that could stick. He was a Muslim, he wasn't born here, he just was a simple, nice black dude, right? And no matter what they said, it's like they couldn't get away from the fact that he is America. And that leads me to point number 4. Now, in the 80s, if I ask y'all, what do y'all think of the 80s? And I'm gonna ask y'all this in general, put your comments in there. If somebody was born in the 80s, or if they lived in the 80s and the 90s, what are you gonna say? And I remember this guy saying crack babies, drugs, rap music. And I laugh because if you go look back for yourself, and this is why A Different World was so powerful in the early 90s, that was a time period in the late 86 to 93. It was the highest point in American history of African Americans getting master's degrees, getting doctor's degrees, becoming lawyers, becoming all these things. Like the most highest numbers ever of these people doing those things. And Barack Obama is an example of people coming out of the late 80s, coming out of the 90s. Now they're going to be people they're going to be in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, highly educated. And I don't say it as to brag, but all these older minority people I know are really highly educated from the 80s, because that was the time. But what you've learned from media and propaganda is, oh, crack and rap music and drugs and gangs. That's propaganda, dude. It's just not true. So Barack Obama kind of kills that stereotype of these 80s where it was terrible and black people were terrible, when really it was like one of the biggest times of black people, what I would call, honestly, the splintering of African American community, where you had a ton of people over here going to the middle class, getting those higher degrees, Maryland, DC, New York. Now you got second generation kids going to college, and then these people over here who are kind of stuck in the lower working class, middle, and they keep being stuck. But then you had a ton of people in the 80s go over here to this side. And Barack Obama is one of those people. That's why when he talked about arugula, people were like, that's so uppity. And I'm like, why? Because it's at Whole Foods and not the regular Food Line or HEB you go to? Come on. That's ridiculous. Number 5. This is the Swig Way I'm turning of the conversation. Find a way through it. Create one. I understood what Selma Hayek was trying to say to Jessica. It's not fair. Everybody knows it's not fair. Gary Vee is the same way. He's like, everybody knows it's not fair. But guess what? They don't give up. They don't care that it's not fair for you. But we celebrate those stories of, oh, she had such trying times and now she's a multimillionaire. We celebrate those things in America because they know it's out there and they just don't expect much from you. So create what you're wanting to see. Another reason on this channel I'm so big about credit, and I'm so big about you guys having business lines of credit, is because that's a way for you to fight. That's a way for you to get your foot in the game. I personally went to 20 banks and was turned down 2 years in a row. And every bank will say, man, you got this great information, da, da, da. But you know what you need to do? You need to get one deal under your belt with a hard money lender or something like that. And so when I did get access to that credit card, whoo, put that deal under my belt. So anyway, the key to that is finding a way to win. Number 6, making your own products, movies, services. Again, remember I was talking about my friend Andre Hatchett. He's got all these products, all these services under this one arching thing called Own or Be Owned. Glenn Cameron, a guy I watch all the time, Hustlers Kung Fu. He's created t-shirts, he created courses, he creates, just ongoing opportunity for himself. 7, really important. If you have kids that are turning 18, I think it's 100,000 or so kids every month are turning this age. And guess what? There's only creating 200,000, 300,000 jobs a year. So what does that mean? That means there's not enough jobs for all those people. So when you see young people creating blogs, creating podcasts about sports, creating something like, there's a couple people I want to interview soon where they're the vegan whoever, and people follow their blog and they get paid from various ways, sponsorships, different things, but they carve about 30,000 to 60,000 a year income. Like, that's amazing, because there's just not enough jobs, and the jobs you will get are $10 to $14 an hour. So what better way for your kid to really invest their time and create this channel, create this product, create this service where they really can win? So let me get to some of your guys' questions and comments today. All right, get over here. CSG, hi from Brooklyn, New York. What's up, Brooklyn? Revolutionary, hello. Hello's UL. Bose News, yes, you're right. That's the way in going to fight. Yeah, definitely put your questions up there. Feel free to ask me some questions about business credit, real estate, because honestly, a lot of people are saying, well, Erica, I tried this way and it didn't work, or I got a commercial credit card, but they wouldn't give me a business credit card. And I go, so what? Use that commercial credit card for your power, for your benefit, for your leverage. Now, the bank's sitting there telling you to put money into lending, not lending club, but like small bank certificates, small 401ks, and get these 1 to 5% back. And it's like, you can get 17 to 22% interest off investing in a property. Why would you just waste your time? Do you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, definitely put your questions in there, put your comments in there so I can go ahead and hit them up and make sure I get some stuff answered today for you guys about the power of creating your own. And I'll wait a few seconds to let you guys get that in there. But yeah, I noticed that just the uproar online about it was kind of cracking me up because I wanted to go, Selma Hayek, yeah, she's kind of out of touch now. She's Hispanic, but she's married to a French billionaire, so she can kind of create the movies she wants. But that's the key is like there's such a if you go to Redbox movie, and I've talked to this about this before, there is like the biggest time ever of people investing, making movies, making shows about what they want. So, it's a great opportunity and a great season for people if they're looking for a win, right? The power to win is available to them. So definitely, any questions, any comments about real estate, about winning, just put them in the comments. And I'm going to read them for you guys. Okay, so Bose put, when I get good credit, how long will it take to get business credit? What score do I need? So it depends on the bank. There's some banks that I talk with and use there's people with 575 credit scores getting $7,000 unsecured, getting $10,000 unsecured. Now, what happens if you can only get $10,000 unsecured with your personal credit and that bank asks for a personal guarantee on that business credit card? You might be in that same small lending boat, right? Like not a big number, a smaller number. So your key is to get good credit and to also have this separate kind of account. Here's your bank account, here's your business plan, here's your business address, here's your business. There's steps and processes in the way you build it up. Bose News, just depends on what you're trying to do with it. Did anybody else have questions? Did anybody have any questions about business? The power of creating your own story, creating your own business, creating your own credit. This is totally opening it up for a little bit for you guys to go ahead and ask me some questions. Don't be afraid. All right, guys. Well, it's kind of quiet tonight. I don't see many questions. I've hit all my points on my talking points, so I'll definitely hit you guys up another. Let me see. Bose News, trying to get into real estate with my business credit. Yeah, but there's a million ways to do that. There is a million ways to use credit to your advantage, right? And there are many ways to get the money off. And sometimes people just use it for closing. Sometimes people, like when there's a couple of people I follow, Lisa Phillips and also Paula Pants, Afford Anything. Paula Pants bought a $20,000 house. And it was in almost perfect condition because the people just walked away from it. They gave up because they were underwater, heavily underwater. But the house was in perfect condition. Keon Gordon, hello. Hey, Erica. Hey, Keon. I'm on here for a little bit longer. You guys go ahead and put any questions in there so I can go ahead and help you. Each one teach one is what I believe. And the more people you help, the more people you help, the more people they help, the more their lives change, the more your life changes. It's all about the back and forth. And today I have on my Bear Performance shirt from Nick Bear. I went to his gym. I don't know if you guys saw the channel. It's pretty cool. Military guy. Started a supplement company. Supplement company's growing so strong that he's gonna have to buy a manufacturing building for it. So, Bose News. I want to do the BRRRR method. Yeah, the BRRRR method is buy, repair, refinance, repeat. I'm missing an R, aren't I? But technically, a lot of people do that. There's a story of a couple coming out of college. They had $14,000 down on their first property, put their own hard work and sweat into it, turned around, refinanced it, turned around, put the money in, and now they're 2 years later, they're in an apartment complex. And I think you can see that story on Bigger Pockets. Revolutionary African American for African American. What does that mean? Veronica Sims, do you have an outline for rebuilding credit after bankruptcy? Yes, Veronica, I do. It's not as hard as you think. It depends on which bankruptcy you filed. Definitely hit me for a consult, and then I can kind of walk you through. It's not terribly hard. It's about the 1 year mark or 18-month mark where you really get a like your credit can come back and bounce back. Bo's News. I love Bigger Pockets. Very, very good channel full of information. A lot of this stuff is about taking action. And a lot of people say, Eric, I don't have any money. Well, there's ways to do it without money. Money just helps you move faster, honestly. Are you talking about binary options? Talking about trading? Is that what you're talking about? Put information more. Because I think you're talking about low risk, low cost trading. I tell you this. I tell you in college, I went to a class. Teacher taught us all about penny stocks and all kind of stuff. Boy, let me tell you, I lost about $4,000. I only put 100 in, but then when it got to $4,000, I thought I was the boss. I'm like, I'm balling. And of course, lost in 2008. So I only do monthly dividend stocks. I keep it nice and simple and slow. And I do it mostly for the bank because honestly, your biggest returns, yeah, you can do Forex. How people can do those things. I don't deal with them because your biggest returns are going to be hard assets, real estate. Sorry, my contacts acting out. Bo's News. I'm taking action right now. Great. Andrew Robinson's essay, I guess. Latoya Wells, if you have extra cash from a side job, should I pay off debt or invest? It depends on what kind of debt it is. It depends on what are you going to invest that same amount of money in. Depends on how big the money is. Andre Robinson, yes. Veronica Sims, having a hard time with getting hard line of credit without personal credit. What should I do? Veronica, if you just came out of a bankruptcy, are you talking about hard money lending? Because the hard money lending people, even if you have collateral and actual property, they're going to want to see some progress. Does that make sense what I'm saying to you? They're going to want to see some financial progress, some capital reserves built up, stuff like that. NASDAQ, Andre Robinson is what you're talking about. Revolutionary, you have pretty eyes. Thank you, I appreciate it. I usually don't show my eyes on here because people are like, you're looking all around. I'm like, yeah, sorry, a little ADD. I like looking around. Veronica Sims, okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Let me know. But basically, I think the next couple of videos, not this weekend, but next weekend, you'll probably see me Juan Pablo event. You'll probably see me getting ready for South by Southwest here, getting ready for an apartment investing event. Probably do a couple walkthroughs of properties. I'm going to try to get that done soon. An example of the area that's getting flipped right now, like a whole old rundown apartment. It's like an old apartment complex that they're flipping. And they're like townhouse style, and they're painting them and flipping them as we go. And I'm going to try to see if I can get camera access to as much of the property as possible and do a walkthrough. So I think you guys will like that. If not, let me know. Okay, Bo's News. Do you know if they do 203K loans in Indiana? Of course. Just curious. Bo, they do them everywhere. So example, Bo, Clayton Morris, the guy I always talk about on the channel from Fox News Weekends, he flips 15 houses a month in Indiana. And if you got $40,000 cash, he's got a house for you. It's just is what it is. And you'll probably get returns about $675 a month kind of deal. Bo's News, have you ever done one before? No, Bo. The key, I think 203K is really good. There's a girl I interviewed on the channel called Aja McClanahan from Principles of Increase in Chicago. She did one. I think she liked hers very much because she had got a free house in Chicago and all she needed to do was fix it. So I think she likes that. I am a bigger proponent of if you buy it low enough and you just have lines of credit, business lines of credit, or business credit cards or Lowe's cards, you should be able to fix it and also credit from contractors. Now, there's a lot of contractors who won't, but there's a lot of contractors who will take payments. You know, they'll spread the work out if they have to. So, Veronica Sims, yes, I did. Get two. Okay. Bo, you see that? Veronica Sims said yes, she did a 203K loan. I think that's what she said. So definitely hit her up, message her in the messages below. Any other questions, you guys? I think some of the easiest ways for people to create their own, build their own is there's a website called buybizsell.com, and it's basically you can buy existing businesses from people. It's a really great way to go. Also, I'm trying to think of another great one. Simple and boring. I know I talked to you guys a lot about this, but simple and boring businesses win long term. They just do. Cleaners, air conditioning systems, heating, cleaning companies. I mean, they're simple because they are. I know a lady who's been cleaning houses for 30 years. She has a certain client list and she works it. So different things like that. But that's a really quick way to, one, have paperment and documentation, because there's a lot of people. There's a guy, I like his channel, called Your Black Economy. I like him. But basically says we need more black business people, less black hustlers, because a lot of times what happens is we're hustling and we're making this side income, but we're not properly documenting it. So what happens is, instead of properly documenting it, we can't win that way. You can't get bank approvals. You can't get business lines of credit if you have no documentation. They're going off what you do mostly in your taxes and what money goes into your bank accounts. So, Gloria Berry, you're awesome. What about a no income verification, low interest rate at 25% down payment? I have clients. Email me, please. Are you offering that as a mortgage broker? Are you offering that, or you're looking for that? Which one is it, Gloria? Because if you're offering that, hey, you should definitely connect with Andre Hatchett. We have a few classes coming up in the Black Real Estate School, so people would love to hear that. So anyway, you guys, oh, you need them? I need low interest rates. Yeah, I guess email me and I can send it over to Andre. And I probably could send it over to one or two of our other mortgage broker friends. So just let me know. Okay. Thank you, Veronica Sims. No, thank you. Okay. Look, you guys, this is Erica, Classy Climb Blog. Sorry it's so dark outside, but I was just getting a lot of work done today, taking care of a lot of phone calls. If you're subscribe to the blog, classysl.com. If you want to talk to me, look at the 101 on the blog. Click there or go to the other links below and hit me up. We can do a consult. We can talk. A lot of you are very close to your dreams. Don't give up. Just you need clarity and just kind of keep moving forward. So everybody, this is Erica, Classy Climb Blog. Gonna hit you guys later. You guys have an awesome day.